Hello gamers, welcome to the Path of Exile racing stream. Today we will be running 2 events, and starting out we'll be starting with event number 5, the Pro event. It is a normal Izaro kill with 3 restrictions: melee only, no Sunder, and Totems. The duration of the event is 1 hour and 40 minutes. I will be spectating the event, aka I'm the camera guy, and commentating today is Nugiyen and Lifting. So now I'm going to pass it over to the casters to introduce our players. Take it away.
Hello. All right. I think we're going to talk a bit about the racers before the stream countdown goes down. And Nuki, do you want to introduce Sis here for us?
Yeah. So Zizaran, probably one of the, I don't know, most well-known Piety players currently.
Definitely the one that plays the most.
Definitely streams 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. So if you haven't seen him, if you go on the Piety Twitch page, you'll definitely notice him at any time of day.
I think one of the things that Sis is most known for is that, first of all, he's not gay, and he also got world first Shaper kill together with Blue back in Atlas of Worlds, I think it was. And I saw that live, and I can tell you that if something were to rival the live broadcast of Neil Armstrong taking the first step onto the moon in 1969, then this was definitely it. It was an amazing feat. And yeah.
Sadly, I cannot say that I actually watched that. That was one of the few times where I was away from PoE, but I did watch it at a later time, and it was, even watching it later, it was very epic.
It's tense.
We are going to the next player, DeadAndDoom. Yeah, I guess we do have to be a little bit faster as we are just about to get going.
Yeah, DeadAndDoom is the youngest of the pack. He's filled with teenage hormones, and he's ready to conquer the world. And he has proven himself on multiple occasions, even setting a few world records back in 2.6, I think, and winning a recent Kitara race against Ventura Freak and Uber. And I think he used to play a lot of Templar, right?
Yes, I spoke to him after the last race when he did win on the Templar, where he is currently known for all the Sunder racing he's been doing, but he did actually start out as Templar, where he was quite a beast.
It'll be interesting to see today how he adapts to the race. And the race is on. We're getting started here. And we're seeing if they actually managed to disable their tutorials. It seems like it. I didn't notice if everyone was standing up. Were they doing that? Nugi, did you notice?
No, I didn't quite see. I'm trying to plot in so we can follow all the different players' items while they are racing.
Excellent. And it should probably be more said that DeadAndDoom actually, in the last, I think it was Izaro race, he actually died to Merveil. He got so tilted that he decided to rage quit, again, possibly due to the rampant teenage hormones. But now he has a chance to prove himself again. World first Hilla kill there by DeadAndDoom, already showing that he's far ahead than his competitors here.
One of the reasons why DeadAndDoom did get tilted in the last race as well was due to the fact that we had a 10-minute penalty for a death. I believe he died at least once, maybe twice. I'm not entirely sure.
I think it was once.
But that definitely puts you on tilt, as getting in a short race like this, where we're probably looking at 1.5 hours, getting a 10-minute penalty is almost always going to result in a loss if none of the other racers makes any mistakes.
Especially when it's at this level of racing. These are all, or in that race too, were all very competent racers, and 10 minutes is absolutely devastating. And this time, was it 2 minutes that was the death penalty in case you die?
Yes, 2 minutes, and no penalty on Izaro himself, as dying during the Izaro run would be penalty enough.
Absolutely. And let's get Raiz introduced to. He's by far the oldest of the contestants here, at an age of 40, but he have had a lot of life experience, and I think that may help him stay calm and focused, and it might be what will that will be what allows him to relax and win this.
We got a pair of Livesplit boots. Just got to point that out in DeadAndDoom.
Early
getting that rare hit kill. He is going for a muling strategy here, along with Gucci. Muling on Duelist to get that early Onslaught gem.
Onslaught seems so powerful.
Oh yes, it's super powerful. Getting that, if you can maintain that kill effect where you get 20% movement speed and attack speed, cast speed, incredibly powerful. Definitely something that everyone should be getting.
And with it lasting 8 seconds, right? Like, it's not even that hard to keep up all the time.
No, it's I think it's around a 30% chance on kill. So if you just make sure you kill a pack every 8 seconds, you can easily maintain it.
For how long would you, Nugi, keep using Onslaught? Like, would you change it out for another 2-socket gem, or is that not worth it?
Kind of depends. I think I would actually maintain it all throughout, only swapping it on, say, boss fights.
Yeah.
Because you get to a point where you do so much damage anyways, so it's not really necessary to use any other gem than something that because let's say you keep up you put it on your. I'm assuming people are going to go cleave here, so you put it on your cleave and you one shot a pack, you get the onslaught effect, and then you start leaping. Now you have the onslaught effect with the leap slam with the attack speed, so now you get you get that extra 20% attack speed on the leap, so you go even faster.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't it Rai's first actual race in this or in these community races? Or has he participated in previous?
Oh, he's only casted to my knowledge here.
I think this is his first race.
Yes,
and I must admit I cannot help but to think about those Tour de France cyclists that sometimes goes off the grid and flies to Mexico and then refuses to take a drug test when they come back. But fortunately for Raiz, there's no drug testing here. But if there were, maybe he could be the first person to ever test positive for frenzy charges in the blood. But
maybe we'll have to check out whether or not he gets some frenzy charges without having blood rage up.
Yeah, and the hail rate kills are getting down there. We have
Raiz getting that iron ring, that rare iron ring. Do not sell it. Oh, good. He hovered over it, just thinking about it. But I want to see him ID that immediately and get that rolling.
When you race Nugiyen, what's the first item you look for as you get straight into town? What do you want?
Speed boots for sure. Movement speed immediately on the vendor.
Okay.
And
what's second priority?
Second priority, these days it's probably a gem, some sort of gem. I'm not entirely sure. It kind of depends on the drops of Hillock as well. Sometimes you get like some good items. It can be an iron ring. So the go-to I would say is you go for the iron ring as it provides you with the highest amount of damage extra. If you need an ID to, let's say you find an iron ring, you can go for a rustic for 2 IDs instead of 3. So that's definitely an option.
Yeah. Okay. And in the is it the it's the bottom right corner. We have GucciPradas, also known as from previous races, the Latino Hurricane from Latino America, of course. And I asked him, and he says he's been streaming since season 7. So not from the beginning, but he's definitely proven himself in the past few races. I think he won in a race against you even, Nugi.
He did. He barely beat me out by a few seconds, but I was so unfortunate that I completely got destroyed by a Harbinger pack earlier on. So I did have that 10-minute penalty, resulting in my inevitable loss.
He's known as a very formidable lab runner too, so it will probably be of benefit for him tonight here. But the thing is, these are all very competent players. But maybe that slight edge for him might prove to be the winning factor tonight.
It could be, especially being a proficient lab runner in this race. I think is going to matter quite a bit because they are throwing a little bit off the cuff or off the curve or whatever word you would use for that. Seeing as they cannot use any totems or Sunder. So we have someone like DeadAndDoom, who is the 12-year-old hormonal guy, might be thrown off by that. I am not. So we'll see whether or not how he deals with kind of going with a different strategy, whether or not he's concocted something clever, because young minds do think a little different.
And it is a very, very challenging lab today. Izaro both having gargoyles and conduits, which means that if they fail to disable those buffs, he will have more elemental damage, status ailment effects, and you will be having a ton of physical mitigation and more attack speed. And the thing is about the gargoyles, if you go into the lab under-leveled, these are actually kind of tanky, a little hard to take down, and even, or especially if they release and run around there, it can be really, really challenging. I had to deal with that myself in the race last time, and it was brutal.
Oh yeah, you did. So how would you say it differs from the challenge today with not having the totem in the lab or Sunder versus what you had to go through, and also the different that we have the Gargants and the Conduits. How does that differ from the race you experienced?
I think the biggest thing here is that you can't use a totem, and that means that you'll have to change your gameplay a bit around. If you have a totem, you can run around, you can rely on the War Chief or the Protector to deal some damage and just focus on evading his pretty dangerous attacks. But in this case, that's simply not possible. Also, you cannot use that decoy, which is a huge help against Izaro.
Yeah, for sure. There was a question from the chat here. If we could explain why they choose to mule and not stay as duelist. And so the reason why, if I was to expand on that, the reason why you see most of them muling, or at least you're seeing DeadAndDoom and Gucci muling here, which I would say would be the preferred strategy, as Marauder is a little bit sturdier. You get more life, and it's overall considered the stronger character. But the reason why you would mule and why everyone starts as duelist is because you get the onslaught gem. As we talked about earlier, the onslaught gem being so very powerful. It is a mandatory gem on any melee character in races currently. Probably
even on casters too, I'd imagine.
I would say, yeah, pretty much on anyone. I can't really see anyone who wouldn't go for it. And maybe if we get some kind of like weird summoner race, we could see a difference. But currently, in every iteration of the races, it is a mandatory gem to get.
Mm-hmm. Have you noticed any particular things that have surprised you with the skill gems that are running right now in Nugi? I see most of them are running Cleave at the moment and Molten Strike as probably single target. Would you do the same?
Yeah, I think so. I think Cleave Molten Strike is the best setup here. Cleave allows you to still dual wield and leap slam very fast, and Cleave is actually a somewhat powerful gem. If you get 2 good weapons, it does a lot of damage. Very underrated gem, I would say. DeadAndDoom again with the log out just before he taps that waypoint. Don't know if you noticed or have seen it before, but that's one of his small little tricks where he logs out as he's clicking the waypoint to save that half second.
You gotta be at a pretty high level to actually have that small difference matter, but that is what we're seeing here, and it is what is necessary to get ahead. Who do you think is the favorite to win tonight? Who do you think, Nugi?
DeadAndDoom. I think he's even though he does get tilted when things really don't go his way. He is the one setting the record times currently, and as long as he can maintain some of his composure, I talked to him a little bit as well. Like trying to I don't know, make him a little bit more comfortable and just not really buckling under pressure, because we are a lot of people who want to see him do well. And I would definitely rather see him win a race than tilt.
Yeah, absolutely.
However fun it is to see the big boys fail and all that, I would rather have them not rage quit, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's more interesting. We're seeing DeadAndDoom and Gucci doing their first trials now.
Yeah. Are they the first ones at the trials? I feel like Raiz is going if he's looking for the trials, it does seem to be the wrong way. If he hasn't already been there, right?
Raiz is in the upper prison, so he might have already been there.
Oh, okay, that might be. They are going to, both Sis and Raiz should be a little bit ahead, as they did not do any muling.
Yeah. What skills do you think we're going to see against Izaro eventually? Is it going to be the same setup as they're running with now?
I think Molten Strike. I think Molten Strike does the most amount of damage, or should do at least. Cleave is a little. So the thing about Cleave versus Molten Strike is a target lock skill. So you have to actually get into the melee range. Cleave, you can kind of like tap him from the outside a little bit, maybe dodging some of his melee swings if you're a little bit nimble. Oh, we have some brews going on.
We have brews going on.
No totem here.
And it is Raiz going down into the corner. I've seen that strategy from Raiz before, where he once died. So he's ballsy there.
Quick kill though.
And quick kill, Brutus down. Raiz being the first, Sis coming up now.
I did like the kill from Raiz there, making sure that he has the potions ready and everything. The large life potion here, I think, is required to making the kill smooth. We see here Sis just going straight in the open. I think that's a bit of a Raiz definitely showing some of his experience of the slightly off meta choices here, as the balls will bounce off the wall, generating more damage as all the AoE can overlap.
Given that kinetic blast effect there. And Sis is doing well. Doesn't look like... I'm taking that back. That was actually... He got pretty low there.
Getting pretty low.
Yeah.
A little longer, and he would have been in a bit of problem as he only had a small flask left, but he did have that large one to sustain him. We have DeadAndDoom now coming in. DeadAndDoom might actually struggle here. As you can see, no totems, and he does not have the large life potion. He is playing Marauder, so that's really good. Let me just quickly look at his gear here.
And he is going to put on that plate vest, isn't he, for that Brutus skill, and then take it off afterwards to not be slowed down. That bit of life or evasion in the beginning can
helps
make a big
a lot.
difference.
Yeah. And I think that is enough. That plus good gear management here. He has a copper sword and a jade hatchet, a double iron ring.
Blue or green, yellow iron greaves. Could hope for some good movement speed here. I didn't notice if he actually...
He already has movement speed on the... he already had on the wolf shoes. That's the one he got off the... earlier on. So he just sells them right here. No need for that. Let's see if he buys the large. He goes for the rustic. Good choice. Making sure that... This is something I would definitely recommend anyone doing. Make sure to upgrade every single piece of gear that you can. Like double iron ring, rustic, upgrade both of your weapons, and then you're good to go. That gives you such a... huge amount of damage early on. Ooh, lifting. I wanna ask you something.
Yes.
How big of a deal do you think the MTX choices here have?
Oh well, if you're to listen to the preaching of Cute Dog, then I think you're almost a fool not to put on your MTX. Sis is going low there. But Sis is using those MTX, so I guess he's just super confident that they will save him in case of emergency.
The Demon Wings keeping him alive, flying.
Yeah, potentially even flying, yeah. Flying over the constant.
Taking a lot of damage.
Ooh, yeah, he's going low.
I want to... Let's see. I want to quickly go over to Sis's items. Yeah, you see here, Sis is running he does have a rusted spike with 2 to 3 cold damage, and no damage mods on his copper sword. So he's doing quite poorly on that, and he's missing out on an iron ring. That is quite poor when it comes to damage, and I think you definitely see him right now struggling a bit on that damage. Early on as well, Duelist actually does have less damage than the Marauder, from what I understood. I spoke to DeadAndDoom a little earlier.
I guess the Marauder has slightly more...
some of those notables are very powerful on the Marauder. It gives you a little bit more damage than the Duelist. Duelist having more attack speed, giving you higher movements or higher leap slam speed. Yeah, with good gear.
And we're about to see the first Merveil killing up here in a minute, by Raiz being in the absolute lead right now, actually being pretty far ahead than his competition.
Yeah, Raiz doing really well here.
Yeah. And I can see that they are using Vigilant Strike too. Is that simply because of that very, very high base damage and for single target, or what's the point here?
So see who is using, so it's Raiz and Sis using that Vigilant
Strike. We should probably zoom in on Merveil here.
So the thing here, I'm thinking that they're setting themselves up for some nice boss kills. As you can see here, they pop that Vigilant Strike to have the Fortify. As you cannot totem and bait Merveil here, Raiz is doing a very smart thing by having that Vigilant Strike to lower his damage. So the Fortify plus the upgraded potions, and now you can pretty much just face tank and not really care about how much damage you take. because you can always out-heal it because you have all this mitigation.
Significant defense boost for sure. Vigilant Strike wasn't always available at this level, was it?
I'm actually not sure. When I've never been a big user of Vigilant Strike. I've wanted to use it on a lot of endgame endgame builds, especially the ones that don't have some sort of shield charge set up. Like all the staff builds we're seeing right now use Vigilant Strike with the gem. But so I've definitely seen it being used a lot more.
We have the first Merveil kill here by Raiz at a time of 18 minutes and approximately 30 seconds.
That is a very fast kill, I gotta say.
I was listening to some of the races before, and I was told by you guys that anything before 20 minutes, depending on the class, that's pretty fast.
Yes, for sure. Not having to mule definitely pays, definitely makes you a little faster. It takes a little bit to catch up with the muling as well, like going over to that Marauder and doing the mule. So the Marauder shouldn't catch up to the Duelist, I would say, before Merveil. It should come a little later, where some of the strength starts really, when you start popping off. It's more after you get the Sunder set up, I think, when you get that one shot. The 1840
Gucci is going up now. Actually dropping down to half there, getting hit by the barrage. And I'm being told that
on Merveil here as well. He does not have again, he's not upgraded his potions. I think that's a mistake. And he does not have Vigilant Strike. I think the choice of Vigilant Strike definitely paying off very nicely for Raiz on that kill.
Yes, you're right. It was DeadAndDoom. I just confused them there. I think I said Gucci.
Okay.
Gucci is about to head in there.
Going very low.
Ooh, wow.
Definitely out of his comfort zone.
I am just trying to imagine what DeadAndDoom would feel if he died again to Merveil in this pro event here. If that's not, that would be.
Okay, so I'm hearing that on this specific race, Raiz did not actually, as we were speculating earlier, he did not complete the trial just yet. So he still has to do that. That is a good minute that he's behind. So very close between DeadAndDoom and Raiz still. If you consider that trial.
We were just told that Raiz actually currently has the world record for killing Merveil in 18 minutes and 40 seconds in these community races here. So the current record holder, very fast Merveil kill.
Okay, so we have a bit of an interesting development here. We have let's talk about Sis first on that Merveil. Again, also with the Vigilant Strike, maybe Sis and Raiz have been talking together about strategies, as we're seeing the same strategy coming out of both of them with the Duelist and the Vigilant Strike. Oh, and a close race here as well between Gucci and Sis.
Gucci up now.
Who do you think is going to take this one? I think it's yeah. A little bit too far ahead.
Close one though.
Very close. GucciPradas also not with upgraded flasks. I'm not too happy with that, especially with no totems. I think this is definitely something you wanna prioritize, as it really makes your life a lot easier. Also, while just skipping and say you take some squids to the face while they explode, I do think that having that large life potion immediately topping you off definitely makes you go faster through the caves.
And speaking of flasks, in your experience, is it ever worth trying to roll for a seething or something like that, or do you simply not have the currency or the luxury to try and do that?
Okay, so what I tend to do, I think early on you don't really have the luxury early on. You're more like, there's always a gem you want to get, and there's always items you want to transmute. I do think once you get a little later on, when you're starting to stack up on transmutes at least, what I do, I tend to, if I have the presence of mind, I transmute graders and above to get that bubbling or seething. I don't waste a lot of time like rolling them or like alterating, augmenting and all that. Just transmute on a good potion, look at it, go. If it's good, put it on. That's kind of my strategy.
Hope for a potential adrenaline, I guess, on the quick souls here.
Oh, the Quicksilvers, you immediately. That's one of the things I would actually recommend you doing immediately. If you get that transmute the Quicksilver, especially on melee characters. If you hit the resist on the Quicksilver, what you do is you pop the resist as you go into tank LE damage. It's especially powerful on Merveil.
Yeah, good point. Good point. And if you don't get the resist, well, you can get the adrenaline if you're lucky, or you can...
Not on the starting one. The starting one is not... it's too low item level. So there's a very high chance you get the... yes, and it's only level 3.
True. Good point. Good point. And I guess everyone here is hoping to find that second Quicksilver too, being a huge upgrade here.
Mm-hmm. I would say it's not too big of a deal on melee character, as what you're ending up with is mostly... a lot of leap slamming, so mana potions might actually be just as powerful as a Quicksilver, like good upgraded mana potions, so you can just hold down the leap. End up, once you get to a point, you end up not really Quicksilvering at all.
And I'm imagining on that note, because of the leaps, that we'll probably see some Elira siding in this race to get that flat mana region. What do you think? Or is it going to be Kraken?
I would actually say in this race, Elira will be a mistake, unless it's because of just you being comfortable with that, and it's your strategy overall. It's been that. I think it's a mistake. I don't think. Do you think you should be capping resist on Izaro?
I'm not sure capping would be,
or at least getting resist.
When you're going up against conduits, there's definitely something to be gained by having some resists. But then again. I don't know if it would be worth it, but if you're leaping constantly, you could change out that mana flask instead and have another life flask. But you're the expert here, so I'm gonna rely on what you're saying.
I think I would probably not take Elira.
Okay.
I think I would definitely go with either Kraden or the 2 skill points. I think the 2 skill points are very powerful. It allows you to get to a Bismuth Flask on Sis there. Very powerful pickup, actually.
Perfect for conduits.
Now you definitely do not take Elira. It's at that point it's not worth it at all. He opts not to use it immediately. It's something you'll probably use later on once you get to Act 3, where there's a lot more LE damage. There's not really much meaningful LE damage here. Maybe down in the Chamber of Sins with the lightning, but honestly, at this point, if you have good potions, you don't need resist. Not in the early game.
Ooh, Gucci going very, very low there. Almost down to 10 or 5%. But he managed to survive. The Latino Hurricane.
Not throwing off beat just yet. Let's see. So we have Rise apparently struggled a little bit with the layout, and we have a question as well. Essences in these races, how important are they? Well, I guess I'll speak to that, being more the racer. It entirely depends on what kind of monster gets the essence and what essence it is. Getting, say, a fear is kind of useless. It's the minion one. Doesn't do much for a lot of like it doesn't provide you with a huge bonus. Obviously, it's a pseudo alch, right? It's a pseudo alch with a blocked suffix, because you block one of the potential suffixes by having it being a minion suffix. Still powerful though. Alch's very good to craft gear with. But let's say you get it on like a bear or something in the caverns. It just isn't worth the time trying to kill it. If it takes you like 30 seconds to kill, don't even bother. If it puts your character in danger for a death, don't even bother. Oh, we have
Doom going low and Rise going up against Tutelitis here.
Yes, very nice.
No problem there. And I think that was the first Tutelitis we're seeing here, and Sis is getting close to... who's the furthest behind here? I think it's Gucci right
I think.
now. Ooh, going low again.
Very low.
On Gucci. That lightning damage definitely proving to be a challenge at these early levels.
Ooh, this is risky.
Oh, yeah.
Not having that greater life potion is really really problematic. He is opting for the sweep as well, so you kind of with sweep you have to go a little bit closer in the middle of packs.
I'm surprised to see that. And just getting Fidelitis down now, and there's a Harbinger pack in the same room.
Ooh. Harbinger packs are very dangerous in these races. See, this is actually the one thing I would say where resist has some kind of merit. It is that the Harbinger packs are downscaled from a high level, so they just have a damage reduction to them. So their damage is based around max resist. So when you feel like you're taking a ton of damage from Harbinger packs while you're leveling, well, you are, because they're balanced around that max res.
Yeah.
It's that greater life flask in there as well for DeadAndDoom. Does make it through. Getting a rare pair of gloves. Maybe he gets some attack speed and flat damage.
Yeah, and I assume what you're really looking for on gear here in priority is, of course, good weapons, but then maybe some damage rolls on gloves and rings and amulets, such as that.
I did get some flat damage right there. Very nice. Indecisive. Not really sure how he wants to manage his gear, as he has red in the gloves. The gloves he just picked up are red-green. Maybe not really what he's looking for.
DeadAndDoom is busy looking at his options. He's considering, is the game looking as he wants it to be? Should I turn off the shadows? And that can actually be a benefit in the lab. The lab is significantly easier to see the traps in if you don't have shadows on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He does have shadows enabled, though.
Yeah.
Maybe not too familiar with the lab.
I am not too old. So
what do you what do you think about the sweep versus the cleave setup here?
I'm very surprised by it. In my amateur opinion, I would very, very much go for cleave being the safer choice here. Feeling much more intuitive to use, and you don't put yourself in risk as you do with sweep. I wonder,
I would.
Why do you think he did it, Nugi?
I think he's in the one tap leap mode. I think he's thinking, okay, how can I maintain my playstyle of leap into a one sweep? Right? It's the same idea of the leap into a one Sunder. I do think it's a mistake, though, kind of for DeadAndDoom. It puts him out of his comfort zone. He's usually playing on the dual wheel setups, where you get a much higher leap slam speed. As you can see, he hasn't really caught up just yet. Let's see. Rise is, how far is Rise? Rise must have been in Western already, right?
Yeah, Rise has already killed the Weaver, and he's currently on his way to Kraden, it looks like. So I guess that means that he will be killing Kraden, and I guess there's a minor chance he'll side with Oak, but it is probably he's probably going to kill him for the 2 skill points then. Yeah,
I think you're right. I think that, though, one could say that the fizz mitigation, the leech and the physical damage is definitely not bad on Oak, and it saves you having to kill him.
Yeah, the life region and fizz, right?
Yeah. I don't think that's bad. It is damage, and it is like good stats to have in a lab, one could say.
Absolutely.
Especially if you have to run around as well, having that extra region.
Absolutely. The thing is, though, the normal lab, it's not too long anymore.
That's true.
It feels much easier than what it used to be. So traps are not as bad as they can be in the later versions, but still, it is, of course, useful. And I can see a lot of them are using 2 mana flasks here. If they were to get a Quicksilver, an extra Quicksilver, would they change out that for the mana flask then? They would still keep...
No, they would keep a double mana fusion. It's so important that you can continuously leap and never run out of mana. It's also why you see... are any one of them 16? No, they're not 16. What you really want to push here, actually, I think, is you really want to push XP. You want to go... Obviously, you want to progress fast, but I think pushing XP when possible is something you really want to do. Because then you can start using the Heralds. And the Herald's really pushing you there. When you cannot Sunder, it's harder to get that one tap. So you don't want to push yourself too far and under level yourself to where monsters like increase their HP, but you're not really gaining any damage. It's better to get that. I would say or at least from my opinion, I think I would go for make sure to kill every blue pack, get that boost. You see there, DeadAndDoom getting that 16. Was he the first to get 16?
I was just thinking the same.
I think he is. He's ahead in XP here. He's been valuing that farm a little bit, maybe.
Are you sure Ryze
might be 16 as well? But I'm not seeing any Herald on him though, and that's something you definitely Herald or Blood Rage, which are huge pickups, and you definitely should get those immediately.
Ryze actually opts to go in and helping Alira here. Wanting the flat mana regen and the resist, I guess.
I don't know if I like that. We'll see if it pays off. I'll say that. We'll see if it pays off. On the mana, though,
he's secretly going crit. He wants that multiplier. He knows that's the way to scale it.
Yeah, going for that juicy RNG of the crits.
And we are having DeadAndDoom move up into the Broken Bridge now. And I think I've been told that he sometimes decides to, or for the most part, kills Kraken, but sometimes helps Alira because he wants that flat mana.
Yes.
Yeah. But it is interesting, as you say, that he is out of his element now with the two-hander. It's a very different play style, and he's so used to just leap slamming through the content and feeling good with that, with the two-hander. I'm wondering if it's better to focus on movement speed or if you will actually be able to.
I think with how proficient he is at leaping and that playstyle, I think it's definitely still the right choice to just keep leaping.
Probably, yeah. And I guess with Blood Rage up and some Onslaught, it'll probably still be pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. He hasn't popped that Blood Rage yet. It's something I definitely do. Or maybe he's still only 15.
Nah, he reached 16.
Right? Yeah, I want to see him put on those heralds and the Blood Rage, especially the Blood Rage. It needs to go on like immediately. The Blood Rage, it doesn't even need to have the. You don't even need to have the frenzy charges to get a bonus. It gives you an inherent attack speed bonus. Yeah. There we go. He put it on right there. It's definitely something I look for when people race to make sure they maintain Blood Rage.
And it does come at the cost of some damage taken, of course, but that should be easy to mitigate or deal with.
All of these, like Marauder and Duelist, they all have some kind of regen, and since they're all fizz based, you do benefit from the leech that you get from that Blood Rage as well.
Mm-hmm. And we're seeing DeadAndDoom killing Alira this time. He's going low, down to below 100. He was down to 80 life there. It was getting close. And he's going down. Like, that's a player who knows the limit of his character. He knows that he can tank this damage.
I want to point out something. Ryze was the first to touch the ball.
He's always the first to touch the ball.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. It's no surprise to any of us. He's still not. Oh, he is using his Herald now. He has activated his Herald.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be right before that. Ryze going very low. Swarmed with a Harbinger pack.
Get out of there. Oh, he wants that 3-link. That's why he stays in there. That's why he goes for it.
Yeah, that does not seem like a fight you would otherwise want to risk being in. There's spares to it's the entire fucking zoo trying to kill him here. Wow.
Okay, he's a little scared of his health here. I see him immediately IDing that belt, thinking, maybe I should switch off some damage and maybe go for that leather belt instead.
It is a lot of life you can get in the beginning.
It definitely is. If you have really good gear, it might actually be the right choice in some cases, just to allow you to play even more aggressively. Also, having more life means you get stunned less, and if you don't get stunned, well, your attacks always go through. Oh,
DeadAndDoom going low, and DeadAndDoom is dead.
Oh no, I didn't see it.
DeadAndDoom
How did he die?
Got demolished by Oak. Decided to go up against him, but the Sweep Master took the Sweeper Princess down, and that's unfortunate for DeadAndDoom. He is not feeling good right now. He's super angry. He's gonna message someone.
Let's see where the first rage message goes out to. We definitely should keep a close eye on that chat box.
I'm a little surprised that he dies to him. I don't know if it's because he's nervous or.
I heard that he even picked up the Enduring Cry. Yeah, he does have the Enduring Cry in that inventory. He could have used that to get that extra physical mitigation on that fight.
Yeah, not to mention the life regen. He was running out of flasks. That life regen he could have used there would have been huge for him. And we're seeing Sis in the crypt currently going for the. I guess this is his third or second trial. I didn't notice if he actually got the trial in the Chamber of Sins.
When the Chamber of Sins, I think, didn't they all get that? I believe they all got that.
That would make sense. It's on the way.
I think so. Well, we had Raiz in the Ancient Pyramids here. Let's see his time. 38. That's a good time, I would say. Especially counting the fact that you have to pick up those trials, taking a few minutes. If you discount that, I think we're looking at like a sub 40 kill here with no Sunder.
Yeah, sub 40 kill.
Maybe he's getting a little lost here. I will say it's gotten somewhat easier to find yourself or figure out the route inside of Ancient Pyramids, as you don't have to go all the way into all the rooms. As you can see the doorway appearing on the screen before actually being able to see it. With the you see there popping up down there and left in the corner.
So nice.
Yeah, helps a lot in that area. That area could be such a troll to figure out earlier on.
I believe there is a method to it, right? Not on the first floor, that seems completely random, but the second floors, right? The entrances, I've heard this. I cannot confirm it, but like they spawn cross.
Yes. So correct? First floor, when you go up in the Ancient Pyramids, right, to where you have to like go up in the floors. The first one is random, low. Very low there. Oh, he's going for that essence.
And low again. Raiz is.
But he contempt, very powerful. I do believe that is the fist damage contempt. Throwing that on a one-hander, a fast one-hander, can give you a insane weapon, as you're guaranteed that flat fist roll.
Is he waiting to get the next tier of upgrade before he wants to use that then?
I think if he's doing good on damage now, I would definitely do that. You do see I think he has an arming axe in the inventory. That should be a good target for it for sure. I believe that's around the 24 or something.
Raiz is doing really, really well here.
Yeah, he's doing definitely the dark horse coming in here. All this experience on like the kind of slight off meta characters, I think, is really paying off.
Yeah. Raiz is a very versatile racer too. He's done tons and tons of different setups. Definitely knows his stuff.
I think he's probably one of the most versatile racers out there. You can throw him on anything and he'll do okay with it. Like he'll do okay to very well, like in between. I don't think he's ever going to really do badly on anything, just because he has so much experience on everything. Or
unless he has to go up against Piety, that seems to be his weakness.
I will say that is the main weakness of Raiz. It's the inability to be able to kill Piety.
And I think in second place right now, is that DeadAndDoom?
No, DeadAndDoom is Northern. I think Sis might be a little ahead because... Oh, no, okay, so Sis is in Wetlands. Okay, so he's been... that's right. He's been doing all the trials, making sure that's... I think it's a very close race between the last three, though. Raiz definitely holding a clear lead here. And then
Raiz is going up against Fall Over Soul now.
Ooh. He has some good damage. That's decent damage, I would say, without the totem, remember. The totem provides a ton of damage for melee characters early on. It's also why you're seeing all these totem characters being getting all these wins in races. It's because they got the new totems.
Oh, and he's... Oh, I was just about to say he was about to drop stones.
That's unfortunate though. Yeah. The double minion spawn is the worst. If he keeps spawning minions as he comes up, Raiz is gonna be very angry. Oh, he has to get him here. Come on.
He will.
Yeah, he got him.
Get him. There we go. And that was a. Maybe it's just my eyes, but that looked like a yellow 2-stone ring he decided not to pick up. But I guess it could also be his loot filter.
That could have just been the loot filter. What was that? We had a 40, 42 something? That's a good time with the setup. I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing here out of Rise. We have
He's getting a quick leap slam, or his leap slam is starting to become very efficient too. And Sis in the ball ruins now, not even having gotten into the Northern Forest yet, but he has the trials completed, and that is going to save him some minutes in the long run.
Yeah. I think going for the trials early as well, especially I actually think that going for that, going for the crypt early is the right thing to do. Because you want to XP, you want to like push that level 16. So you want to make sure that every single zone you go through yields you as much XP as possible to get to those steps where you leap to the 16, you leap to the 20, you leap to the all those like big power spikes is what you're trying to get. And the earlier you get them, the more efficient you are with like your XPing, the better.
Absolutely. Don't want to waste your time being over-leveled in a zone otherwise and not getting the most out of it.
Exactly.
And we're seeing, I think DeadAndDoom just got an essence to a mothering essence of, well, I'm not sure.
Did Sis just drop his Quicksilver there? Yeah, he did. Okay, so Sis is opting for full mana spam.
Wow.
I think that's a little bit of a mistake. Maybe I think you should be able to, if you're going, like if you're really good at like the leap kill setup, you should be able to maintain off just 2 mana potions and then having that like hit in between. Obviously you're not going Sunder here, so it's hard to get those like fat pack kills as you normally used to. I find it very nice having that Quicksilver though, in many areas. I think in Izaro's area, probably it could very like benefit you a lot.
There are simply areas where it's not efficient to jump and just faster to run.
Yeah, exactly. When you have like where there's all these like small gates and pebble or like obstacles, things in your way, you definitely want to be able to have good movement speed in those areas.
And DeadAndDoom going for the crypt trial now after having been in the was it the Northern Forest, I think, or in the Vale ruins. And so this is where Nugi, you would say that he should probably have done that before to be a little more efficient with this experience.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think you do it before Northern as well, because Northern is where you really want to just have your power spike. You want to have everything available there. You want to the Northern Forest, I would say, is one of the highest XP zones you can get. It's historically one of the places where people would go to farm. I believe that's where Siggy won a headhunter race as well at one point. Yeah. Where you just farm that zone over and over because it is very dense and you're constantly fighting something. And so having power, so you don't have to like run from a devour. If you can just tap that devour and it disappears, well, that's really good rather than having to run from anything. The moment you have to start running, you're missing out on XP. You don't want to just kill it immediately.
Good point. Gucci heading into the caverns now after a slightly dangerous fight against the Devourer there. Showing who's boss. And where's your Rise is in the crematorium now, and I assume that you will go for the trial as he is there. And not come back for it later. Do you think we're going to see any skill point quests? I mean, I guess it's only...
there is only one, I would say one would consider. And it's because you're running straight on it.
It's the warehouse sewers then, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, exactly.
Okay. We have Sis now.
Sis on ball?
Yeah. Let's zoom in.
DeadAndDoom catching up now a little bit to Sis, but let's see how Sis deals with this. Let's look at his setup right here.
Swapping here.
Okay, so we have the Molten Strike set up right there. I would, I don't like the fact that he hasn't upgraded his potions, because if you have good potions here, you can just Blood Rage. Oh, he does Blood Rage anyways. That's good. I definitely agree with that. You get the potential Frenzy Charge here, and you get that
taking some damage.
Yeah. Oh, I just saw that. I guess we're a little out of sync here.
I can.
I can see if he is gonna eat those beams, the resist is paying off a little bit here.
Yeah, you can take a couple of beams in the beginning, but if he then has the minions up at the same time, you can get unlucky and they hit you too, and then things can get a little dangerous. But you can see Sis is focused. If there's one thing Sis always does when he's focused, it is that he becomes so focused that his jaw muscles doesn't work and he can't close his mouth. It's like a physical response.
Oh.
All right, Sis getting him down.
Oh, yeah. That was definitely making good work of it. Definitely good at the damage, I would say. None of them really struggle. I think if there's anyone struggling on damage right now, it might actually be DeadAndDoom. I do think that his choice of that two-hander is, I don't know. I would have liked to see him just going with the cleave dual wheel setup instead.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to talking to him after, if we get the chance.
Yeah, me too.
We can hear his thoughts on that. And we're having DeadAndDoom now going up against Vol Oversoul and Gucci, of course, getting closer to.
I want to point out. Oh yeah. Let's keep on DeadAndDoom here.
Using Sweep and Molten Strike, and of course dedicating links to Molten Strike here.
Yeah,
damage is pretty good.
Yeah, I think even damage, I would say on the leap though, and you see that is a problem. The fact that his two-hander has the same damage as the one-handed setups, that's an actual problem, because then you're missing out on the more attack speed.
Absolutely. So as for the trials now, we're being told by Havoc that Sis has completed 3 out of 6 trials. DeadAndDoom is on 3 out of 6 too. Rise has only completed 2 out of 6.
Okay.
Crematorium and Sins, and Gucci has 3 too. So while Rise is in the lead, he's also behind on the trials.
Luckily for Rise, though, the trial he is missing is the easiest one to get. It is, from my experience, the prison trial, you can pretty much always just go to the left and you pretty much run into it every time. And it's pretty fast to do. So let's say that's a minute. And he's definitely over a minute ahead from everyone else. So he still has quite a lead. Yeah. I want to point something out here. If you notice the inventory management, I actually think that Rise is managing that the best. DeadAndDoom showing a lot of even getting. I don't know. Is he going to take this?
We're
4
having,
chaos. He's getting a trade here.
GucciPradas going up against Veil down here.
Oh, let's look at that. Let's look at his damage.
Taking some shocks to the head.
Also decent damage here from the two-hander setup.
Avoiding the slam. Now,
the slam is really what you want to have happen.
If that was back in the old days, you would run away from the slam, but you would still be wondering, am I actually away from the slam, or am I desynced to death now?
Yes, that is very true. One of the mistakes a lot of people made in the past is they would run away from him rather than running through him. Everyone has at least picked up these days that you should just go hawk him close and go around as you do get out of the range. That way, the easiest and most reliable.
Yeah, good points. Let's see, what are we having here? Rise in the marketplace. And what do you think he's going to do? Is he going to go straight for Izaro as soon as he has the trials? Or does he feel so comfortable right now being ahead that he would actually farm the docks a bit?
Oh, finds a silver flask. Big pickup.
Who did that?
That was Rise.
That was Rise.
He's just killing essences here left and right. He's looking very good on very good damage and good currency. Like his ability to craft some good stuff later on will be very good. Like he's gonna be rocking some sweet gear.
Maybe for some trades or something like that. No, that's not gonna work. He's solo self-found, so
yeah, that's true.
By the way.
What he could do though is he could start linking some of the good drops to some of the other players, maybe throwing them off tilt a bit.
I like that strategy. It looks like Gucci is checking his friend list there to see where his competitors are.
Okay.
But from the
once you
past,
start doing that, I think you should never do it. You should focus on your own game plan and just go as fast as possible. Because what are you really trying to do? Looking at that friends list, are you gonna go faster if you notice that they're ahead of you? Well, why didn't you go fast already?
I guess there can be a slight benefit if you're the person who's ahead.
That nearly going down.
Almost taking it from Piety. Yeah. Oh, and he's so low again.
Okay.
And there's just this guy who really wants to buy that item from DeadAndDoom. And
not going D&D. Not staying
really.
True to his name.
No. But yeah, as I was saying, there might be a slight advantage to check your friend list if you're far ahead. Like Raiz could benefit from it. He could see, like, where's the other guys? Can I allow myself to farm a bit before I actually go in? But as you say, it is probably best just to keep an eye on your own game and focus.
But even then, you're always trying to make the quickest time. If you're a min-maxer, if you're trying to set records, you should never check because you should always go for that record speed, right?
Good point.
Regardless, so there's one thing that's the best course of action where okay, I kill this thing, I get that level, and I go because that's how I get the fastest time, and that's what says here. He's picking up the busts. Maybe he has the good layout.
And did you get was that the second one or the first one? That was the first one for him.
Okay. I went a little bit out of his way to get that as well.
Maybe he doesn't look happy either.
No.
There's a slight frustration in his face.
Or maybe he's just very focused.
Maybe he's just very focused. You can still see like his jaw is not functioning properly. So it is. I guess it's possible.
See, here again, this is where we might be able to talk about maybe a slight debate, as he is going off the trail to pick up the bust. So he gets the first one, right? This what is that fallacy called? The sunk cost fallacy, where you pick up the first one and now you think it's beneficial to yours. It's the best course of action now to continue picking up all of them. Where maybe he should just be rushing, right, and trying to catch up rather than trying to go for that
changes that mindset.
Because like now with the 2 he found already, if he goes with the strategy, he should be picking up the third. The second one would be definitely a mistake if he does not pick up the third now.
It would feel like a waste of time.
Ooh, yeah, not picking up that third one.
He actually did get the third.
He did get the third one.
I just didn't see it from the overlay.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, there was a little bit of a blockage there.
I think he got it actually. And we're having DeadAndDoom going into the catacombs, and Raiz is in the catacombs too. Ooh, DeadAndDoom taking some damage there.
Has DeadAndDoom caught up? Is that what we're seeing here?
I think Raiz is ahead on experience, isn't he?
I don't know, but that doesn't really matter too much. All that matters is the kill and the kill time.
Absolutely.
Man, DeadAndDoom. Wow, he must have gone really fast through that sewers.
And he is actually Raiz does need one more of those trials. So DeadAndDoom in that
pulling
case
ahead
is actually ahead. Actually ahead.
Okay.
Having a bit of trouble with this fat ass jumping.
So we're having a straw pool here, and who's gonna win? So can we get maybe you could like throw out your predictions for the straw pool? We can't see it right now, but we could predict the straw pool, I guess.
Well, I must say that for a long time felt that Raiz was going to be the winner here, but now that DeadAndDoom has suddenly shown some true skills here, I think DeadAndDoom has a chance too. Like Gucci and Sis are doing great, but they just seem pretty far ahead than their competition.
At this point, I would definitely say that, like, looking at the performance of all the different racers here, where Raiz and DeadAndDoom should be pretty close. It's hard for me to say though. Like DeadAndDoom has that pro factor. Raiz being more of the dark horse. And has had that league, but I would say that Raiz has more of maybe of the fanboy base. So that might count into the...
He does get some significant support, that is for sure. Maybe he feels it. Maybe it fuels him.
Maybe we even have, like, with the fanboy support, maybe people are showing their colors for Sis.
Yeah, there's no doubt that the number one fanboy, going low there for Gucci and being poisoned, I guess. Why? Oh, it's his blood rage, I think.
I would say though that if I was to pick, okay, so we have RaizQT with the 40% here, or 33%. I can't even. 53% with 40 votes on RaizQT. DeadAndDoom with 30, Sis on 12, and Gucci on 4.
Okay. Not a lot of trust in Gucci, despite him winning
I would have
the
given
last
him
two
my
races
vote.
he was in.
Gucci is the one though with the highest amount of wins, beating me as well. So I gotta say, man, all these other racers, they are prone to die, and then Gucci coming in for that win.
And we already have that one death on DeadAndDoom, so
yes, very true.
There is a 2-minute penalty, and that can definitely make a difference in this race here.
Luckily, Raiz did make it past the first Piety though without any deaths, so he has that going for him.
His future is looking right now. I'm worried.
Is Raiz having some issues here finding the, or is he farming?
He's in the crypt. I don't think he's farming. He would gain very little experience here.
He's in the crypt. Oh, I'm just throwing myself off. I thought he was in the Act 3 zone.
Well, we do like to feel powerful in Path of Exile, so if your character sucks, sometimes you can go to a low zone and just kill noobs in there. And
I do think Raiz threw himself off a little bit there. Not too good.
I don't think
really showing experience in crypt here. You should definitely have followed it up to the left. I've never experienced it being down at the bottom of the map. Maybe it can be there, but from my experience, it's not.
Typically up there, from my experience too. For what it's worth.
Well, 2 for 2 has to be. It has to be
guaranteed. But yeah, that was not good. Like Raiz would have done so much better here had he done the crypt as he was leveling. This was very, very inefficient.
Okay, so I do think he's still in the lead, right? So it seemed that he had done Solaris. We have DeadAndDoom and Sis both in Solaris.
Yes.
So he is still in the lead here now because he's done all his trials, and now he can push on. So now we're actually seeing the real, like now we have the real race here because they've done all their trials, and yeah.
I'm very, very excited for the actual Labyrinth, because at those levels, under-leveled, Izaro is really, really dangerous. And it doesn't take much screwing up to get a 2-minute setback.
Raiz going for that craft on the 3 link there. Trying to get as much life and armor, I presume, of his chest piece.
Now, I can't see how much health Gucci has, but it's otherwise all very, very close. DeadAndDoom 467, Sis 452, and Raiz 442. And Gucci 488 down there, it says now.
This is where I would say the Marauder probably has the edge. They will should be getting a little bit more life than the
Raiz dropping very low there with the Flame Bearers. Fire resist maybe not up to par and low life. It's a dangerous play he's got going there.
It's definitely very dangerous. This is not a zone where you want to be farming too much, at least not against those flame. What are they called again?
Flame Bearers, I think.
Flame Bearers.
No, that's the. Isn't that the?
The dogs that breathe fire.
Yeah, fire dogs.
Fire dogs. No, definitely
it's
not the easiest place to. Oh yes, that's true. Definitely not the easiest place to farm. He is getting some good blue packs, some good XP there.
Benefiting from those guaranteed blue packs that spawn at the piers of the dogs.
I wonder if he's going for that Blade Flurry strategy, maybe for that 28. What did he hit? 24.
Can you explain that?
Okay, so I'm not sure if he's gonna go for that, because that would set him quite far back, I think. Okay, so the Blade Flurry strategy would be you get a one-hander, a powerful one-hander that can Blade Flurry, and then you so that would be what, a sword? I don't believe axes can do it, and you would Blade Flurry and then have an axe offhand, and you would have one of the highest melee, like highest damage output melee skills. But he is only picking up swords, so he's probably not gonna go, or axes, so he's probably not gonna go for that. Not what I would, at least if you're to judge from his inventory, he seems to not be opting into that, at least.
I can see a lot of the players, they go to the right side of the tree into Ranger.
Yeah.
And I assume that is simply just because of the loads of attack speed you're getting there.
Loads of just physical damage, attack speed. There's some stats on the way. It's the highest DPS route you can go on the duelist, and that is usually what you go for, as you just want to get that one tap, then leap on.
I guess I made the mistake. Then I went towards the Marauder.
The Marauder, yeah.
But I wanted to be a little more safe, not having the experience that some of you guys do.
I would say that if you're inexperienced with this kind of thing, you're probably safer off. And also you get that stun node. You don't get stunned as often. You get to play more aggressive. I don't mind the Marauder pickup at all. Oh, and, another death on DeadAndDoom. Oh no!
Did he die? Did we see another death? Oh, I did not see that. What did he die to?
I did not see that. He must have died in.
I just saw him locked.
Yeah.
4-minute setback here. And he does not have the Infernal Talc for the butthole in the sewers.
That hurts.
He is tilted right now. He is
all
not
this
focused.
Walking back and forth. Doesn't even pick up the amulet. I don't know if I like that. Like that 1 second to pick up a rare amulet that could potentially be insane. I don't know. If you could, let's say that every time you had like a row of amulets and they all took a second to pick up, how many would you pick up? You pick up all of them.
Whoa, Rise going low.
Ooh.
So close to death there in the docks. And Sis is actually the first to go for the all 6 trials.
Ooh, he's going for the all 6. Mm-hmm.
Gucci getting an amazing weapon. I'm not sure if he got the last one there or if he was into the maze, so he could have it. But if he does, then he decides on going to the docks to get some more experience.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a tough one right now if you're going straight in without some levels. I don't know. Maybe they do have some plans for like a 28 skill. The only thing I could really think of would be Blade Flurry, as it is the highest damage one of all of them.
Yeah,
does he have a sword? He does have a sword. It could definitely. And also we know that if you've been following Sis the last few days, you would see that he's been playing that Blade Flurry jog, being very comfortable maybe with that playstyle.
Oh, and we're being told that D&D or DeadAndDoom died to a corrupted zone.
Okay. I'm not sure what I think about a corrupted zone though.
No, I was just about to say the same. And like the level of the zone is always a little higher. Some of the bosses are sketchy, and there's a very low chance that the drop that you get from it. But I think, didn't you, Nugi, in the past Izaro race, didn't you go for that too? And you got like a Vol Ice Nova or something like that.
I probably went for.
Sorry, I was just about to say we're having the first person in the Labyrinth right now.
It is Rise. Okay.
And Rise is checking his price checking macro to see what value his items have there before you go in to see.
Oh no, DeadAndDoom is going for Piety, but we're. Oh no, but it's an Izaro kill.
DeadAndDoom may simply think we're doing Kitava kill again.
Can we get maybe a friend or some supporters of DeadAndDoom might be, as DeadAndDoom has not gone D&D as we saw from the trades earlier, could maybe throw him a tell that, bro, you're going the wrong way.
Start by telling him you don't want to trade with him. You're his friend. You're here to deliver accurate information. Wow,
want to sell information? Want to see? Okay, so we have Rise going fast in the. here in the Izaro. I think Raiz is looking really good. He's been like getting good gear, right? So it's good armor, good health here.
Let's zoom in. Raiz first.
His potions are
Ascendancy.
on point. He has to fortify, looking really good. Am I seeing a
First,
4-link? No, just a 2-link or a 3-link.
Raiz using his Molten Strike.
Oh, he's grinding XP.
Oh, Raiz taking a lot of damage. He's not. No. He's not disabling the conduit.
He didn't disable the conduit. He didn't keep up Vigilant Strike.
Oh, 2 minutes.
Confidence. Oh no!
Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer,
Jeez.
right? It could never have fitted in any better moment. Wow.
Laughing it off.
And
He knows. He knows he's in the lead.
He knows
he's like,
he's fairly confident. DeadAndDoom going for the final trial here, going fast. But can he make it now? Raiz is in a good spot, but if he doesn't disable those conduits, that is some very ballsy play.
Yeah. So what I think he should definitely be doing here is that, well, as he has that, I want to see I want to see him doing the Vigilant Strike into the disabling of conduits, right? So you tag it while Vigilant Strike. Vigilant Strike is down. Vigilant Strikes, or the Fortify is down. Vigilant Strike still on cooldown. Now you have time to disable. I want to see some of those kind of like plays here.
He will have to do something like that if he wants to be efficient with his time in there.
Also have that silver potion. Why doesn't he not equip that?
DeadAndDoom going low no flasks here. He locks out. DeadAndDoom is in a rush. But he also knows that it's weekend and Disney show is about to start within too long. So maybe he just wants to get this done now.
Yeah. Should definitely not miss out on the Disney show. I haven't seen that in years.
It's the best.
I thought that was in Denmark. It's on Fridays, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah. Oh, we have a Raiz going up again. Here he did disable conduits. This time he's taking one hit is taking half of his life, disabling the conduit of all of them, except for the flame one. That's a dangerous one there. Don't get hit by that. Wow.
Oh, he just tanks it, but he does have that fortify up. He's probably thinking, as long as I have the fortify, I can tank.
Going low again.
Should heal. Why are you not clicking your potions? Raiz, come on. Did he click his could he press 2? Maybe his button is broken.
What a turn of events here. Raiz losing 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
And a lot of confidence. This is not good.
It's a painful. He has the strategy, he has everything. He just has to execute. The pressure is finally getting to Raiz. The veteran racer,
DeadAndDoom apparently has decided to just kill Piety now. He says,
I think he does not have docs, so he's getting some XP.
I believe
that is.
It is a nice zone to farm in.
It definitely is.
Meanwhile, Sis has been farming the dogs and been very efficient with his time now. He goes into the lab now for his first time. And let's see if we can.
But that means that Sis is way ahead now.
Sis is way ahead. He has 551 life on his character. What does Raiz has? He has around 500. He actually has more life than Sis. I thought that Sis, by farming up a little, would have a little more here, but.
Well, Sis was behind for a long time, so there's not much farming.
We're having GucciPradas.
GucciPradas also.
Now this.
And he is Marauder, so he has a lot more life.
None of the contestants here can allow themselves to die in the labyrinth now. It will be the person who. Oh, Raiz dropping low again. He's taking so much damage from Izaro. Conduits is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Oh, he just tanks them again. He needs to get into that tap big deeps. He needs to use the silver as well. Maybe get some charges off the ads as well. I don't know.
He's living life dangerously.
Oh, he should get some. He
really needs to disable that conduit there.
Yeah,
and that one too. He doesn't want to have him going.
He needs to get some potions. Maybe he's just getting. He's getting desperate here. He should have killed all the ads.
So low. Raiz almost dead. That barrage taking him out for the third time.
What is he?
Wow.
Oh,
This
Daddy
is
Rise.
unpleasant. We are having
Disappointing.
Zizaran going up against Izaro now. Disabling the conduit as the first thing. I like it.
Getting some damage in before the next conduit comes up. Again, good choice. Has that
Brilliant.
Enduring Cry rolling. Some regen on the Enduring Cry as well. Definitely making good head,
Very nice.
helping out on that. He's managing potions really well. It's going well here. Okay, so I think he wants to take another hit before. Okay. Not quite. So I think he was waiting a little bit, maybe to bait an attack and then starting to heal to get maximum efficiency out of that potion.
He could also be
kill some of these,
putting up the conduit so we can disable them all, or at least two at the same time.
Oh, we have
and he has the
Gucci as well.
too.
It's a 1v1. None of them have died. This it's anyone's game at this point. Oh no! Maybe you should.
Oh, good.
But he needs to bait out some. Oh, he logs. No.
Oh, that he does not have time for that.
I think everyone's getting way too greedy here. Sis playing it a little safer.
Why do you log out when there's no
yes.
time penalty in the lab?
I don't know. Well, the thing is, he had no potions, and he was not refreshing them off the ads. Sis is doing I think Sis here showing.
Might as well just have taken the kill then, or rise very low again. If he has nothing to lose by dying in the lab except for going out of the lab, that's the same thing as logging out. Rise very close to death again. And Gucci actually going to the ducks. Gucci is not feeling ready for this.
No. I don't know if I like he's running the Bismuth Flask. He could maybe swap that. And as I said, he does. Wow. Good on you, Sis. I am liking what I'm seeing on you.
Line into Sis consciousness.
Oh, takes a hit. Oh, oi.
Yeah, he was
almost getting double slammed. Oh, nearly walks into that one as well.
Conduit of Storms disabled for Rise there. And there should be a conduit of Flames coming up. Ooh, that barrage. That barrage. So dangerous. Often underestimated too.
He needs to start killing some of those ads. I'm so confused. They're right there. He has no potions. Pop the Blood Rage, kill the ads.
And he wants him down now.
Okay,
he got him down.
Good. It's good to see him.
Did he get all the conduits disabled, or did he have to?
I think he did.
One? Okay.
The bottom right one might have been enabled. Oh, there is a 2-minute death penalty in lab?
I see Havoc saying there's a 2-minute death penalty now in the lab.
Okay.
I was under the impression there was no penalty there, so that is.
Yeah, I thought we were just going on the same as we were in the previous Izaro kill. I know for the less proficient streamer race, that was definitely the case.
Mm-hmm. We're seeing DeadAndDoom against Izaro here. Let's zoom in on that.
He went for the Cyclone. That's what he was going for. Completely forgot there was another 28 skill.
I guess Cyclone is dropping very, very low.
Two-hand Cyclone?
They move far away from Izaro, they have to be really careful with that barrage.
I think if DeadAndDoom had everything makes sense though now, right? With the Cyclone and the two-hand.
It does. It aligns.
So that was his grand strategy in the end.
And he has an Enfeeble, but he's not using it.
Oh, look at Sis. Oh, he picked up the shrine. The massive shrine.
Oh, permanent Dark Shrine, massive shrine. It probably couldn't get much better than that.
He's not going to miss a single cleave like his. Oh, maybe it's
DeadAndDoom going very low and disabling another conduit. Conduit of Storms is down, and he needs Flames too. Frost will be up soon, and I think he got them all. He's safe.
Mm-hmm.
And second trial for Sis, right? This is not his third, right? No, it's not. He's going up against the Gargoyles now, and he really needs to get the Gargoyles down soon. The Gargoyles gives a massive boost to Izaro's physical mitigation and gives him some attack damage. And,
doesn't seem like a problem at all. This extra health, the good physical mitigation, the vigilant strike, everything just coming together here.
Yeah.
Easy for Sis.
This is looking good right now. It's looking absolutely fantastic. The Blue Stallion takes the win, I'm sure.
Well, let's not count it out just yet. Things can go wrong in the last fight. We haven't really seen the layout of the last room. It could be he could make mistakes still. We've seen both Raiz and DeadAndDoom, very experienced racers, crumbling under some of this pressure.
Absolutely true. Thing is, though, when you have the 2 first trials and you manage to disable his buffs, right, then the final one is not too bad. Because there's not even traps anymore in normal lab.
There isn't?
Final phase, no.
Oh, so that's new in 3.0?
Yeah. Oh. Gucci going very low. And we have 2 deaths on DeadAndDoom, 3 on Raiz, and 0 on Gucci or Sis. Wow, going very low again.
Very low, 4. DeadAndDoom is getting very close here, though. Had DeadAndDoom not messed up with some of those deaths earlier on, he would probably have been very, very close for that.
And that's the guy that wants to buy that item again. He just never gives up.
No.
Raiz is Raiz in the final?
I think he is. No, not yet. One more.
I think he's in the final. It looks like the final room.
Oh yeah, the final before the trial.
No, this is the final room. This is the Izaro kill.
Wait, what? Oh, Raiz. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Sis. Oh, he is on the final room.
Wow,
that's right. He still kept going. That's right.
And he gets them down. Yeah. Raiz is the first to kill Izaro in the race.
119 is a good time. He would have gotten 115.
He is 6 minutes, or gets a 6-minute penalty here.
All Sis has to do is just not mess up now, and he has this.
Don't fuck up, and he has this, yeah.
I want to see him fuck up.
Yeah, me too. Just for the fun of it.
Because then it's going to be can he then beat it in 5 minutes if he dies right here?
He's looking so good with that permanent shrine.
It's not going to happen.
The time he got to farm in the docks to just put him ahead. Raiz was the first to enter the lab, though.
He was.
And Raiz did amazing for the entire race, but maybe a little overconfident. And DeadAndDoom is, I guess, going in. No, not yet. There's one more zone before the final.
Yeah. So what are we gonna have here? Oh, the second place might actually be under contention, though, from Gucci. I'm not. Can DeadAndDoom actually go in and pick this up from Raiz? No, he must be too far ahead. Raiz 3, DeadAndDoom 2. No, so DeadAndDoom is definitely not getting that, because that would be 21:44. I believe. 4
minutes behind.
Yeah. Oh, with the 2 minutes between those, between them, but. We do have Gucci then. What would he need to hit to beat Raiz? That would be 6 minutes, so he needs to beat 25:44, and then he's in second place.
It's not impossible. He is only on the first stage, though.
No, this is the is he out again? Oh, okay. So there's going to be a close one for second for sure, I think. If he can make it past this one, I think this is the troublesome one, as you can't really control when all these conduits come up.
Conduits is by far the hardest to control. You really want to time it correct, and he's so dangerous when you activate it. Damn! Wow! So low, and again.
But he's not using that enduring cry. He's like perfect enduring cry. Not really showing. He just
DeadAndDoom very close. DeadAndDoom dying.
He's down
again.
Oh no!
And now he's getting angry at chat, typing R in chat to show that he's frustrated.
I think he's typing easy. Does not look very easy to me, though.
Ooh, and Gucci going down again. Gucci going down again. Well, they both have to start the lap over, these two, and they have 18 minutes to finish this race before
Do you
the
think they're
caps.
gonna make it?
I'm not sure. Like it
This
seems like
does-
Gucci is going to the docks again to farm a bit.
Oh, to farm a bit. This to me feels like our previous streamer race with you going up against the dark horse, the
Sir Crushington.
No, Sir Smurfington, I believe his name was.
That's true, yeah.
And then we have we had the two, like the semi-pro versus and pro here, and then we have the two. I would say, maybe.
Just look at Sis there. He's dancing. He's
happy.
He's feeling so much better. His jaw is back in place.
This is great, man.
Look of a winner there. And I guess like,
but this is really reminiscent of your race where you had I believe who was it who went in first, died a few times, went back out, started farming.
I went in once and then I died, and then I was told that or I went into the lab again and someone told me in chat, you have plenty of time. So I thought he's not even in the lab. So I took my time and farmed a bit, and then turns out he was actually in the lab. Anyone. So when I defeated Izaro, I actually thought that I had won at that point in time. So I was almost celebrating. It was super, super sad.
Oh, wow. That's unfortunate. Oh, okay. So DeadAndDoom is picking up some help here. Going for those mysterious boxes. What is that this one? Is that the permanent disabling, or is that for the first one? Or was this for the gargoyle one?
I didn't see where he picked it up in which zone.
Okay,
but let me look up.
We'll see now. We'll see now. He goes into the trial right here. Yeah. So Rise is confirmed rank 2. But no, actually, what I was talking about the you had the two races in the race, right? We had the main event here, Rise and Sis. And then we have the secondary event here, so it's gonna be interesting whether or not they can beat the time.
True. And these, like, while Sis and Rise might have gotten 1 and 2, we're still looking at
the first one.
Very, very competitive and competent players here. So I'm still very interested in seeing who's going to take the third place.
Feeble now as well, picking up every single thing he can for that physical mitigation.
Is so good against Izaro.
Yes.
What they're fighting for basically right now is who is not going to be the loser. And that's a rough one to swallow. And I'm sure they're putting in everything.
I think Gucci is going to be okay. Probably a little bit out of the comfort zone here with the two-hander as well. He has 2 wins under his belt already. He doesn't really need any more wins. He's okay. He can still claim the champion here still, like, as he has the most wins overall.
Okay. And we saw DeadAndDoom getting past the first trial here, surviving.
Yeah, it's good to see.
It's good to see that he didn't die again.
And I'm very happy to see that he sticks it out this time.
Wow, Gucci going low. Whoa. So close. So close.
Nowhere is safe for Gucci right now.
Nowhere.
Not the lab, not the docks. Where can he go?
Maybe you should try Rise's strategy. Go back to the crypt and farm some skeletons there. We are seeing and the guy again wanting to buy from DeadAndDoom there, and DeadAndDoom going in against Izaro, phase 2 against the gargoyles, and you want to take those down to prevent that fizz mitigation. Ooh, wow, taking a lot of damage there, and he needs to start positioning himself again for that gargoyle. Yeah. But it is
he just
Izaro.
Takes
Wow,
slam.
He needs to.
Okay, but it's done now. Now he just needs to. Is there one more gargoyle?
We're gonna do DeadAndDoom full screen here.
Oh, he has one more gargoyle. Oh, it takes a slash as he's jumping away.
Still has. He needs to be careful
maybe like
for
a
barrage
slash
now
lead
too.
Coming in here. Ooh, let's see if he can pull it off. Misses.
You sound so sad, Nugi.
I do want to see DeadAndDoom here pull through.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, he got the second phase now. Now all that's left is final one, and DeadAndDoom will be taking the third place.
Ooh, is that even? That is not sure. As DeadAndDoom does have 3 deaths. Gucci having 1, so as long as there's less than a 4-minute difference, then Gucci would actually take it.
He could try and go
very
now.
fast.
It would have to be very, very fast, but he is the Latino Hurricane. He can do it if anyone can.
I want to mention something here. Have you noticed the choice of weapon here?
For which player are we talking about?
For the 2 brackets, the first and second, and the third and fourth.
I guess we're seeing, the two-handers are not doing too well here.
Not doing too well. As I was saying earlier on, I didn't agree with it.
Mm-hmm. Or do you think that's the main contributor for this?
I think that's a big contributor. I think all these players are so used to the one hand, the dual wheel setup. This leap slamming is it's so clunky if you're used to the dual wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And also just being able to tap, and I don't even think the damage is superior on two-handers. So I don't think two-handers really have anything here versus the dual wheel setup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Just feels so much more clunky. I don't understand why Gucci isn't trying to get into the lab now.
I think he felt really uncomfortable. He probably has either a level or a piece of like an item he's trying to get to. Like there must be something in his mind that he's trying, okay, I need to get this thing unlocked and then I feel comfortable. He does have 2 skill points though. Maybe he should just be going.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I think he just wants to complete. He's probably feeling the pressure of what happens if I don't complete. The winner of 2 events not being able to complete his third.
That would be very, very embarrassing.
That would not be good.
That would be the end of a career. And DeadAndDoom going up against Izaro here. Final phase, getting that Whisper for trade. And how's he going to deal with it? Taking the sweep attack. And is he going to get him?
Oh, no, no, he's not. What?
He's not moving.
No. What's going on?
What's happening? Is he crashed?
No.
Is DeadAndDoom crashed?
Oh, no.
DeadAndDoom, never lucky, resurrects and deciding to take it out on Piety, I guess.
Oh, no.
He says that he needs to farm more? Wow.
Maybe he should just take that trade. It was a bro deal as well with 3 chaos versus the 4.
That would have been so useful right now.
But he's right. Solar self-hunt. Even if he wanted to, he couldn't.
I am kind of mistaking, or what's it called? I'm kind of thinking it could be his competitors who's trying to tell him just keep sending the same whisper, wanting to buy items from him until he goes crazy. Like, we can't always see what Raiz is doing on his other keyboard. But
well, I think since we have 2 people farming here, maybe we could get Sis into the commentators room and we could have a little,
let's get him in.
Little chat.
The Blue Stallion from Norway. Let's talk to him.
Yeah, there we go. Sis?
Me, sideways. Oh my god, you scared me so hard. Oh my god.
Why is that, Sis?
Oh my god, because I didn't know I was on Discord and you dragged me in, and oh my god.
Well, you don't worry, you didn't say a lot of weird stuff that we weren't supposed to hear. Congratulations on getting the win, Sis.
Thank you.
How are you feeling now?
Fully erect.
Fully erect, fully deserved too, in your opinion, or?
Yeah, I feel like I played that really good. I practiced earlier. I practiced yesterday with DeadAndDoom. We were like doing a 1v1 thing. And we tried sweep, which was dog shit. And I was like, okay, well, this is going to be a shit race. Let's not use sweep. It doesn't have enough damage. And then
It's a funny thing you say that, considering DeadAndDoom actually using sweep.
All right. Yeah, no, I felt like that was terrible after yesterday. So I opted in for cleave, which I practiced earlier today, and I beat my yesterday's record by 25 minutes. So I was like, I'm gonna go with cleave.
Very solid.
And then I was very sad that Urbila was so hard today because with cleave you can go in at 25 on 28. So
definitely.
Oh, so you had been checking up on the lab today. On the
I went in there earlier for practicing.
You definitely went up against one of the hardest setups you possibly could, especially those conduits in the beginning.
Yeah, they're the only things that are really bad. The conduits, they do so much damage.
If you look back at your race here now, what do you think you did right? What was the thing that made you succeed here, and what was the thing that you perhaps could do different? Oh, and just a second, DeadAndDoom dying to Piety. He's doing the Rise method and going back in and killing him. Sorry, sis. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically, I've been watching DeadAndDoom play, and he uses a lot more than me, Leap Slam. So I ditched the Quicksilver early on. Hey, you just got an offering. Dropped the Quicksilver pretty early on. So that was definitely huge for me. I feel like that's the biggest increase. Just not having it made me rely on it a lot less. I Leap Slammed a lot more than normal. Going to the crypt area early on for more XP efficiency and less danger of being underleveled. Now that they've removed different sewers, it's so easy to get underleveled. So I was I was asking my chat please say that they didn't go to crypt. I want them not to go to crypt.
I think that was the first time where I thought, okay, this is where Sis is definitely making the right choice versus everyone else, as you were the only one going there immediately.
Yeah, it's just no reason not to. It's just I was. So that made me really happy that they didn't. And then I think the main thing I fucked up was I read Piety Lab wrong, and I went into the side area for the Dark Shrine. I shouldn't have gone there at all. I mean, it turned out well, but it was such a gamble. I wanted to disable the gargoyle thing, but I didn't know where it was.
Yeah, that's understandable. What made you decide on staying in the docks for as long as you did? Did you know that you had an upper hand here, or did you just not feel comfortable going in?
No, I wanted 25. I had dog shit weapons the entire race. I had so bad RNG on weapons, but I managed to get a pretty decent one with the Chaos Orb, and I had a crafted one on the other one. So I had 2 good level 25 weapons, and that was always my plan, to get 25 and then go Izaro, regardless of what anyone else was doing. It was so rippy today. I wasn't expecting anyone else to not die a lot.
Yeah, you definitely made efficient use of your time, while Rise was unfortunate and died. Was it 2 or 3 times against first phase?
He died 3 times before. Did he even die 3 times before anyone even caught up to him?
No, I think he actually managed to die 3 times before.
So you're saying out of all the contestants, Zizaran was the only person not dying?
Yes.
Did Gucci end up dying?
Died once.
Died once. Okay.
It's pretty ironic.
He did actually also go for the 2-hand strategy. I do think that the dual will strategy, also just because of Leap Slam, I don't understand why someone like DeadAndDoom opted, especially if you've been talking to him yesterday. You didn't agree that
I told him yesterday. I was because I couldn't do sweep yesterday with Onslaught because it was too little damage. Cleave and Onslaught was fine until level 20.
Yeah.
All right. Well, amazing job, Sis. Well deserved. You were looking really, really solid in those Izaro fights.
I would say that setting up for the whole Izaro with the Vigilant Strike, I was very happy to see a lot of you actually picking up that Vigilant Strike and getting you were getting Enduring Cry. You got everything, basically. Apart from maybe a curse.
I was thinking about using Hatred. Oh, fuck, I forgot the curse. I was thinking about that earlier. I'd planned doing that. I completely forgot.
Okay.
I looked over all my gems, and I was like, have I got everything? I've got everything. Didn't even realize until now. I was going to do temp chains.
I know you've been running a lot of jog, and you've been running a lot of lab as well, right? Recently?
Yeah, same as I do everything. I actually do 100 everything.
So you feel like that gives you a good edge on that as well? I would assume that maybe some of these other, Gucci is more of the 100 racer, right?
Gucci's
I don't know if he does
so much, but he'll do it with Queen of the Forest.
That's right. He does a lot of lab. Do you know if DeadAndDoom does it?
No, probably not.
Yeah. I definitely think that someone that is definitely showing through. Also with not panicking. I saw a lot of the other Rise panic seemed to not be very comfortable on the fight. You seemed very comfortable.
I used like my life potions twice so often instead of just one.
Oh, really? You seem to be doing better than the others on the potion management.
Well, that's good. Well, I was very unhappy with my links as well. I felt like I got shafted on links all the way until that glove dropped as 4 link. And I was like, fuck, I'm not risking chroming this.
Well, I think. Do you have any more questions for this, Nuki?
No, I think that was it.
We should probably try and get Rice in here if he's up for it soon. Then.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining me, and well.
Yeah, it's great to see. Great performance.
Sweet. I'll move out. Thank you. See you guys later, and thanks for casting.
All right, let's see if we can pull Rice in here.
The hurrah?
RaizQT. Tell us about the race. How are you feeling right now?
Feeling pretty good. The race was really fun. I feel like I fucked up really bad.
We feel like that too.
Well, the thing is, I thought it was fair to close down like all stream chats and everything. So I didn't know like where other people were doing. And I felt like I was really not doing well at all because I could just not find any mobs. So for instance, I was level 9 killing Merveil because the last 3 zones that I ran through didn't give me a total of a level, you know? And like, even though it looked like a fast Merveil, I was so under leveled that already got to me a little bit. And then because of that, I needed to catch up in Act 2. And then I ended up with like an 18-minute Merveil and then a 43 Vol. When if it would have been good, I would have ended up with like under 40, right? So I was really scared that other people are kicking my ass. So yeah, I panicked a little bit.
We were told you had the fastest Merveil kill so far in these races.
Oh, cool!
You did really, really well, and it was for a long time. I was sure you were gonna win. You were so far ahead at some points. Very unfortunate. Few deaths on Izaro.
I don't know if it's unfortunate. I'll own up to it. I fucked up. I fucked up.
How much prior experience do you have to like lab running in Izaro and all that? Is it something you do a lot, or
not necessarily? But honestly, I maybe was a little bit like I wasn't particularly confident of my time, but I was pretty confident of the Izaro fights. And then I died 3 times. So yeah,
I was surprised to see in the first time you went up against Izaro that it seemed like you didn't care about one of the conduits being up. Were you thinking you could manage to deal with one, or?
Ooh, I don't actually remember. To be honest, the first time I went into Izaro, I was expecting to die because I forgot my hatred. And so, because like it took me really forever to level up. When I finished Solaris, which is when you're supposed to go to docks, I was level 22.
Yeah.
So I'm 2 levels under.
Yeah.
And
I saw you hit in 2023 in docks. And I was like, wait, why was he farming there?
Just a second here. We are seeing GucciPradas almost taking down Izaro in the final phase here. And GucciPradas getting 3rd place on... No, I don't think... There's no way that DeadAndDoom can win this. He has more deaths.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him. There was a question for you, Rice, from Organic Law in the chat, and he asked if you found the defense side of the gem useful during the race, because you were the only one to use it. I'm not sure what he means by that.
No, he means maim.
Oh, maim?
Okay. You're the only one to use maim.
Oh, I don't really know what else you could use, to be honest. Like added fire, maybe?
Maim
I like
on... Maim. What skill were you using it on?
Molten Strike.
Molten Strike, okay.
Yeah,
do you think that's worth it?
I don't really know. I think it's better because Izaro probably has some resistances, I assume, to be honest. I didn't really do that much research, so I don't really know if it's better than added fire, but that's like the only other thing that I could think of. For the longest time, I was thinking to maybe use faster attacks, but I was a little bit sketched out if I'm gonna have enough mana, and I was more concerned about actually having enough mana and having enough damage to kill the gargoyles than actually surviving. I didn't anticipate I'm gonna die. Yeah.
Could you feel a difference though with the main procs on a guy like Izaro as he does?
No, I don't think so. Especially not because like with Molten Strike, obviously 60% of it is fire, right? And then like a whole bunch of damage that you're dealing is also coming from Hatred and Herald of Ash. So the smart thing probably would have been to buy melee physical, I guess. But when I was in Act 2, I ended up only getting 1 faster attacks. And even though I felt like I was selling quite a bit of yellow items, I didn't have another alteration. So I just grabbed my Blood Rage because I think that's the most useful gem after whatever you can get, and yeah, that's where I ended up. I didn't want to go back to Act 1 to Act 2 to pick up gems.
So if you could do if you're doing another Izaro race at some point, Raiz, what would be the big thing you would change from this one here?
Honestly, I wouldn't change anything. I think to be modest here, I did really well considering my RNG.
Yeah.
And I choked in the end, and that's pretty much where it ended up. Obviously there's some optimization that you can go for. I think also probably level 26 would have been better, but again, I was struggling so much with EXP where I had the level 22. Like I wanted to do Catacombs early, and then I couldn't. And
any specific reason why 26?
I just think it works well with levels, especially if you do busts.
Is there a big notable you're getting, or?
Yeah, I would have gotten Bravery, so that's a bunch of life and the 24% evasion and armor. But I ended up not doing the bust, and I was planning to pick up Bravery by being 26. But because I was so behind on EXP, I didn't get it in the end. I went for the deeps.
I like it.
How much practice have you been doing, Raiz, for this? I mean, you race all the time, but have you been doing any like specific Izaro racing?
Not really. This is the first. I did a Izaro practice run earlier just to see if I'm supposed to get level 26 or 28. On the practice run, I tried to use Blade Flurry, but even though when I finished everything, I was level 26, which felt really good in the practice run, but I had really good RNG, like crazy good RNG in the practice run. I ended up not being sure if I'm going to be doing enough damage for the gargoyles. So I tried out to get level 28 and get Blade Flurry, but it really, really wasn't worth it. I think the setup that I had currently is definitely the way to go. You just have to not die 3 times.
I wanna ask you something. Being so experienced with like all the different classes as well. What do you think about the Sunder versus the cleave and other strategies? Do you think that there's a big difference with something like, let's say you had Sunder available? Do you think it would made a big difference in a race like this?
Yeah, I think Sunder makes a massive difference. I don't think there's any other ability that's just that much stronger. I don't know. Also, well, I'm not really sure if I'm that experienced. I only started playing melee last league, so I'm still learning a lot of the classes, and I'm new to melee, primarily a caster player. So I'm sure there's tips and tricks that I don't know yet, but hopefully in the future. But as for Fortify, it's pretty OP. Honestly, it's pretty OP, especially with the Onslaught gem. It's pretty strong.
We were talking about you being probably the most versatile of the streamers yet, having done everything. And
I've been trying. I've been trying to get good. Ranger is my next thing to learn, but Ranger is pretty tough so far. I've only done a couple practice runs, and I'm pretty poop.
That's your thing, Nugiyen, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Hopefully I can do a good showing tomorrow.
Let's see, do we have any more questions here? I think we are good here. Should we get Gucci in here for a talk to? Or what's the plan?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is. I'm not sure how we are on time, if we're good on time.
Raiz already left. We didn't even get to say goodbye to him.
Oh.
But if he's listening, thank you for for tuning in.
Okay, we're good on time. Okay, let's have a talk to Gucci here then. Hello, Gucci.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you? How are you, boys?
We're doing good. How about yourself? How are you feeling after this race here?
Feeling all right, I guess.
Mhm.
Like after I don't know, like I think when I fucked up the what's it called, the conduits phases once on Izaro, I'm like, yeah, this is over. Because I was like trying to go for as low level as possible, Izaro. But then like the first time I screwed up and I locked. I mean, I ran out of plus, so I wasn't like being cautious. Then the second time, like when I faced him, 2 of the conduits came up, so he had like 2 buffs, and I'm like, yeah, no way I can do this. And then I was like, yeah, pretty much like giving up. So I just farmed up to 28 to get the Cyclone Gem and do it. Because DeadAndDoom still saying it was like way easy on Cyclone, and I didn't try it out. And
We're seeing, we're actually, sorry to interrupt, but we're actually seeing DeadAndDoom now in the final phase against Izaro, getting
almost
him down.
1,000 HP there, and finally getting down the kill.
Winning the 4th place and getting 2 extra keys as a like consolidation prize, I'm sure.
Getting a 6 key run here in the main event. That's okay.
Yeah. You decided to farm a lot then, Gucci. Did you have any idea of how much time you had to farm?
I mean, I only decided to farm like when I knew Ziz and Rice had killed it. I'm like, yeah, I might as well just farm up to try out the Cyclone thing. Because I like went into Zaro maybe I think 3 times before I decided to farm. Like the first time it was when I just ran out of flour. Second time was when I screwed up the phases. Third time was when I died.
Yeah. So I've asked the other contestants this too. So if you could participate in another Izaro run, what would you do different this time?
What would I do differently? I don't know. Play duelist probably. Seems to be better.
What? How so?
I don't know. Like, wasn't
Just
Rice
like
and Ziz both duelist?
Yeah,
there has to be something to do with it. And like Fight like killed it before any of us apparently.
Okay. So I wanna ask you about the sweep versus the dual wield, because I think that was the big difference here. I don't think that there was actually the duelist being better than Marauder. The only thing I saw here was that you and DeadAndDoom decided to go sweep and 2-hander, leaping incredibly slow because that's what you do, and then versus Sis and Rise going with cleave and dual wield.
Yeah. Oh, another thing I noticed with sweep, like it seems to suffer from accuracy issues a lot. Like I don't know why you don't notice as Sunder, but like I was missing a lot on sweep while leveling. And as a Marauder, duelist like gets out of the Gladiator at the start, and there's like a bunch of accuracy. Even though I had like versatility, it still felt pretty trash. Now it's like
Okay.
Like let me see. So duelist gets 20% and Marauder. They both get 20%. Maybe the skill's just trash. Maybe cleave is just better than sweep.
If I was to give you like some what I would say about that is that you have a much higher opportunity cost on something like sweep. When you jump in and you sweep, if you miss, it's such a slow attack and you're using a 2-hander, so the time in between attacks is much higher. And also you're in a much higher dangers, like you're in a much higher risk because you are now in the middle of monsters. So the whole feel to the thing will always be, unless you have RT or some godlike weapon, it's always gonna feel bad.
Yeah, that's probably right. And I guess if I would do it again, I would try. First, I would practice because I did like 0 practice runs before this. But I'll try out cleaving as a Marauder.
Well, thank you for taking your time to talk with us, Gucci. And well, despite everything, you still managed to be like 7 minutes faster than me, I think. So I think you did pretty good. If I have to say so myself. Take care, man. And do you think we can lure the boy Wonder in here?
Mr. DeadAndDoom.
For DeadAndDoom.
I mean, you can just move him in, I guess.
Just force it. All right, let's see if he's willing to turn.
I tried to move him in, and then
there
I
we go.
moved the channels instead.
There we go. DeadAndDoom. How's it going, dude? Are you how are you feeling right now after this race?
Not too well.
Not so well. Can you explain what went wrong this time?
RNG was pretty bad. I only got my 3 link in level 17. Never got a good weapon. Pretty bad RNG in the entire run. I actually legitimately died to him when he was at 1 life.
Shit happens, right? I think a lot of people were expecting you to take this race actually, but
I think the Cliff strat is better.
You think what? Sorry, come again.
What made you decide to go sweep over cleave? What was the deciding factor when you were thinking about it?
It's an easier Izaro, I guess.
You don't think you think it's fast enough in terms of leveling? Because I know you're really the guy to look at when you're looking at like leap slamming strategies, and you're so proficient at the dual wheel setup. So I was really surprised that you opted into the 2-hand, which is so much slower when leaping.
Yeah.
How much experience do you have DeadAndDoom with the lab itself?
Not much.
Not much. Okay. Have you been practicing before? I think Sis said something about you guys practicing.
Yeah, I did
a little.
1 run before this with this.
Okay. Well, you were also, I guess, you could say that for all the contestants, but you were going up against the absolute hardest things today. And that, of course, slows one down. Were you at any point considering just going for Izaro and not worrying about the gargoyles or conduits? Or did you know that you had to do this?
Yeah. There's no way I would have been able to do them otherwise.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure also Gucci tried doing it at like level 25 and he just had no damage.
Yeah, okay. He did.
I think you really need Cyclone if you go 2-handed Marauder.
Yeah. Do you think that would you think that would be worth it though? To have to force yourself to go to 28?
Geolith would be better, I think, with Cleave Molten Strike.
You couldn't go Marauder Molten or Marauder Cleave Molten Strike though?
I don't know.
Was there a big difference there on that?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, DeadAndDoom, you've won plenty of races. I'm sure you'll be winning many more. Thank you for taking your time to talk to us.
No problem.
And good luck next time, man. I don't know. I think Havoc is going to intercept us here now, or what's going to happen now, Nugi?
Well,
we have a race coming up in an hour or so, right?
We do. Do we have the completely? I'm like, there's so many races we're doing. So the next one has to be one of the streamer events.
I believe that's the one where Sis and Siggy is commentating, right?
Is that the one? Let me see. I'm pulling it up right here. So we have the no Sunder, no fight. Oh yes, this is a fun event. We have RaizQT and Uberlead commentating. Then we have Siggy, Don the Crown, Norse, and Nogrul participating. It is a 1.5 hour race to level 30. No Sunder, no Firestorm, and no zone reset.
This is gonna be interesting. So a race to level 30. We're not seeing a specific encounter this time, but basically an experience race.
Yes, this is the first one we've had so far. I'm really looking forward to it. What do you think if we're talking about the next event here? What do you think about the no reset, the zone reset? Because that is kind of the twist here.
Well, it will have to. It means they will have to be efficient with the zones that they're in order to not getting underleveled and having trouble later on. And it also means that their favorite farming zones, they can't really use them that well now. What do you think? How are they going to approach this? Is this just going to be a race where you try to go as far as you can in order to still being able to farm the zones?
Perhaps it's going to be. I'm not entirely sure because I have not test run any of this. you're probably going to see them. So level to 30, that's something you would normally do in docks. Right, so they're definitely going to docks, and then they're going to then further on progress through Act 3, obviously, probably do Piety Zone, and then maybe the time has run out on the zone, and they would go back and do the same run again, or they can opt to go all the way and kill Dominus and go to Dryad Lake.
There's also the possibility of catacombs.
That's true, yeah.
Isn't that at the level of Piety Zone or even a little higher? It used to be,
so.
but I'm not sure it is anymore.
The thing is there enough XP in Act 2 so that you can maybe do a single run, most of it resets, and you do a second run, you hit 30? Or is it better to go all the way to Dryad Lake and then continue on that way? Because that's a lot of XP also in the caverns coming up after Dryad Lake. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the different strategies are there.
They also, I guess, have the possibility, they're probably not going to do it, but they do have the possibility of going into the lab to get some experience. But it seems like a waste of time to unlock the trials, unless they really want maximum efficient or level.
Well, everyone would have the trials unlocked already, right? So I don't know if we put in restrictions to not being able to do that.
Okay, I thought they had to be unlocked too. Or
well, obviously, I would say that they probably should, but I don't think we actually talked about this because I think you were the first one to bring it up. I don't think it would be an efficient strategy, though, but it's an interesting thought.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a fun event. I'm not sure. Do you know the races? We obviously know Sis, and I know Norse too. I don't know the other racers.
Nockrel and Don the Crown. I remember their names from. I haven't been in too much in communication with either of them, so I'm a little unfamiliar with them. I definitely want to brush up on both of them, like seeing who they are, what they've done in the past. So I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll see if. I mean, Siggy will have he'll be the crowd favorite, of course, with his massive following. So we'll see if that carries him too. But I think we're gonna let Havoc take it from here. And thank you everyone for listening to Nugi and us tonight. The Danish Dynamite.
Danish Dynamite. We haven't even told everyone that we are both Danes.
We actually live like an hour away from each other. But maybe one day we'll meet up and go on a date. Maybe. Well, thank you everyone. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of this too.
Oh yeah, for sure. And from me as well. Thanks everyone for tuning in and listening to our little duo. I definitely enjoyed myself. So I guess Havoc, take it out.
Thank you, Danish Dynamite. Appreciate the casting. Very, very good job. Well done. So if you guys haven't heard, the next event is starting in 1 hour from now. It is event number 6. It is the streamer event, so no pro players allowed. Just to spice it up. The players participating are Ziggy D, Norse TV, Don the Crown, and No Girl. So it should be a very exciting event, and until then, we'll be having a short intermission until the next cast. Stay tuned, guys.